Alright. Here we go again.
So, in the interim break, I just showed off a couple other Mega Man games to Tom here, who is not very well versed in them, which is, Genesis kid. But yeah, Mega Man X Command Mission happened. That game was good. That game actually has the best armor designs of any of the Mega Man series, I think. Aside from maybe... I wouldn't say ZX, but close enough. Look at all these spikes and spikelies and...
I'm just gonna continue to get hit by bullshit.
So I think a lot of the issue of where you're losing health is that you're just slamming face first into him as you're trying to hit him.
Yeah.
So oftentimes it's good just to do a vertical hop without any directional inputs and just attack and see what, Yeah, like so. You almost got this. Oh, boy. Oh,
what?
We changed it. Alright. Dash, dash. Jump. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Because he cuts on the way back.
Hmm.
And just a reminder, this is the easiest of the Mega Man Zero games. That's not easy mode mockery, that's just pointing out, these are games that really like to stomp on you. I guess that's the reason why I'm again disappointed in Mighty Number 9, because you can see a lot of the things that went into the really good Mega Man games that are just, there's hints of them, but they're not there. There's a lot of really interesting ideas about how you can construct a stage and how you can, play with the constraints of a 2D side-scroller. But the polish just isn't there. The mechanical rigor isn't there. The game came out with disastrous day one bugs. Like my copy of the game, I couldn't save the game, and I went on Twitter going, "Hey, this isn't working." And then, someone who legit hated the game for no particularly good reason instead of just,
ignoring it or being mildly helpful.
Well, he was helpful in that he spitefully told me what was wrong with it. Or rather, he just said, "Here's a hint. Are you an Unreal developer?" And luckily, I do know enough Unreal to know what he meant. I'm like, "Are you for real?" So, the issue is that where the game stores its saves is hard-coded into the game, or at least the copy of the code that I got. So what ends up happening is that, rather than have a pointer to a folder which just says, "Hey, this is where the saves are supposed to be," it just always looks in the same place, even though the game's not installed anywhere near that part of that hard drive. You know what I mean? It's like it always looked for saves in a place where it does, where it chooses to make the save games is not the same place where it's told to check where the save games are. So I kept going an hour into the game, stopping, and then coming back to find that an hour was gone.
That's actually kind of
That's like day one busted. That's unacceptable in game dev.
That's
that's amateur hour.
Kind of shitty.
Yeah. And, looking back on it, I realized that Inti Creates was just busy with two other games at the time, which are Gunvolt 2 and Galgun Double Piece. Okay, not to be hater-rating.
You told me to get the things.
Yeah, and you kept throwing them backwards. Is the problem. You've got enough help for this. 20 seconds.
Yep.
I think you're gonna do it though.
Yeah, I mean,
There's not much else to do. Get in there. Get in there. Get deep. Get deep inside. Ten seconds. Ah, come on. 8.
might not make it.
Nope, we're not gonna make it.
It's alright.
No, go for it. Go for it.
One more little thing of health. That's alright. It's alright.
Because you know
still,
what you're doing now.
It's still the best one. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna actually... Is there a way to switch the...
Switch which?
Switch my buttons around so that... Okay, there we go.
You want your sub weapon on L?
I mean,
you're used to R to be dash or something.
yeah.
Okay. Because abusing the dash is what makes this game way easier. Like, it's designed specifically for you to abuse the dash. Like, oh god, like Mighty Number 9 is also designed around its dash mechanic. Except the way that dash mechanic works isn't very fun. God, that initial design doc was so cool. And I get why they scrapped a lot of it, because that's just hard to program, but... Man, what if? I mean, whatever. Pillars of Eternity came out alright, and Pillars of Eternity is also a Kickstarter game. It's also a much better game.
Alright, let's see.
Divinity is also a much better game. There's a whole lot of Kickstarter games that are better than... God, you can just hear my soul tearing apart, trying to find excuses to, like, make... As if I could make, you know, Mighty Number 9 a better game than it is. Which, you know, for what it's worth, it's not a truly horrifically bad game. It's just a very mediocre game that has the signs of being able to be great, but it never, like, touches that greatness. It's like how Dead Rising 4 is pretty much not a Dead Rising game. There's no time limit, there's no, like there's crafting, and there's zombies, and there's survivor, but there's no interesting side stories to really explore in that game. I bet it's fun to play through, but I don't subscribe to the idea that it would be... It feels like a generic just zombie game and not something that has a very thought-out personality, I guess is a way. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
I mean, that's the one that usually gets me.
Remember, the tooth doesn't take damage. There's just no damage in it.
Yeah.
Like, its whole job is just to be an obstruction that happens to hurt. No items? That sucks. I mean, to be fair to you, like...
I mean, everything is supposed to be kind of forgiving, so... Just top off.
Well, it's because your Cyber Elf, like, at max level, makes enemies drop twice as many health items as usual. It's just that that's kind of a useless feature for a final boss fight, where there's no enemies spawning. Or at least, even if there are, like, there's better uses to put those enemies to. Dash up. There you go, you're getting it, you're getting it. Like, the reason you do the dash is just to keep Zero's head tucked down.
Yeah, since, you know, for whatever reason, there's no ducks.
None of the Mega Man games have a duck except for 8. You've almost got it. 2 more slashes.
Hopefully.
Health!
Yay!
Oh, sweet, delicious health. Eat it, eat it, eat it.
Yeah! Alright, so that That took like 2 episodes. But worth it.
3.
3? Fuck.
3's a good number.
Yeah.
3's the number of mastery.
Right, and then there's just the general colony drop. What we got? D. Okay. Whatever. And that's just credits. Where's their story?
There's plenty of story. You skipped all of it, so...
Whatever. I skip most of the story.
Fair enough. So...
I don't know why they're always thinking that his dad's like, I'm the main character. Tell me to just like drop in. Like literally just boom.
Mm. So, for those of us who have actually gotten attached to these characters, this is kind of a harsh scene. But for you, you're just happy that you're out of this hellscape. This burning, frigid, simultaneously, somehow, hellscape.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I played through the entire series,
Yeah.
by this one I'd be like, what? No.
Mm.
But now I'm just kind of like,
Yeah. You're going to be really
All right,
weirded
we're done.
out if you ever play like any of the other Mega Man X games.
yeah. What is that?
Because up until X5, I don't think X has a beam saber.
But that's the best weapon.
Yeah, and he doesn't get one because his primary weapon is the X Buster.
So I just have to heavy arms this shit?
Yes.
God damn it.
Like, the reason I like Zero is because it has a melee weapon that's really, really flexible. Like, where Mega Man X asks you to be, like, just good at maneuvering and, you know, being a good shot. Like, it doesn't demand as much mastery of the mechanical aspects of your weapons because you have a very wide selection of weapons to choose from in that game. Whereas in Mega Man Zero, they kind of pared back a lot of that down to just... Or there's an in-story reason for it, is that Zero doesn't have a copy chip.
Mm.
So he can't copy out of your weapons, he just has to learn techniques from them. Or, you know, have new weapons installed on his person. But that being said, you know, the game... The Mega Man Zero games always task you with becoming extremely familiar with every one of the weapons that are available to your skill set, and then using them as effectively as possible. Like, you just have to be brutally efficient. Like, if I had a game I'd try to recommend to you to sort of capture this experience in 3D, I might suggest Devil May Cry 4 HD. And people are like, why don't you recommend DMC? I don't like DMC all that much. I don't know. I mean, mechanically, it's a fun game. Writing is actually kind of cheeky fun. I could see how it could easily turn off a bunch of people, but I am not into that game. As far as I was into like DMC 3 or DMC 1. DMC 4 is not is not one of the best DMC games, but it's one of the best balanced.
So is like the rest of this just like credits, or
there's credits and then there's the closing credits scene, but that's all irrelevant to you if you don't particularly care for the story.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, I care, but that's a different story.
I mean, you also know everything that's going on, but
I have context.
You do have context. But yeah, so thanks for joining us for Mega Man 04. We'll probably revisit some Mega Man games later on, but
which, correction to an earlier statement I made way at the beginning of this, the game that is like G Gundam is not 4, it's 3.
Oh yeah, we will absolutely be playing the Mega Man G Gundam game, just because G Gundam's the fucking best.
Well, you know, we'll talk about that later. There's, oh my god, there's so many Mega Man games. I mean, there's Mega Man Battle and Chase. There's, you know. Okay, for the record, Battle and Chase is not very good. Basically, imagine Sonic R, but with Mega Man characters. Actually, I like Sonic R. Can we do Sonic R?
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
the art for this game is great. I'm just sad that it has to be down-res so hard for the GBA.
Yeah.
It reads well, though, for something that has only a 32-bit color capacity.
That's it.
And a 320 by 420 screen, and to just hit the button before I keep rambling.
So we'll see you for the next one.
Yep. Gunshots.